Hunger makes you feel forsaken. It makes you feel unworthy. And what have you done? What have I done? What did I do to deserve this?
And I felt really ashamed. And I think that a lot of people feel like that. They feel like there's something wrong with them.
It was, I was mad at God for a long time, and I don't know that I'm still completely over it.
It's like devastating to not being able to feed anything to your child, or not trying to figure out what you're going to feed to your child.
I traveled with my job. I worked for a computer company and made a great living. I began to develop health issues. It all started, I had a stroke in a hotel room in Albany, Georgia, and laid in the hotel bed for a day and a half before they actually came in and found me. And that started the whole process.
My mammogram had come back looking suspicious, and the phone rings, and it's my OB/GYN, and she was telling me that she was very sorry, but that I had breast cancer. And that sent my career on the off-ramp immediately.
I had gotten laid off from General Motors. All the funds had run out. This is even before I even applied for Social Security. So I was sleeping in a park bench.
My own world was falling apart. I ended up getting a divorce. In that interim, I lost my job. So here I was, a single mom of 2 teenage girls again, making less than half of what I was making on unemployment, trying to figure out how to feed my children, keep a household running, and just couldn't figure it out.
When I first moved to America, my husband was a private in the U.S. Army. The income, I think he made probably about $580 every 2 weeks. It basically boiled down to having about $25 for groceries per week to live on.
So my family absolutely depended upon my income for just basic living. And now I had a COBRA payment of $1,200 a month to come up with. So within about 4 months, our house went into foreclosure. And in 6 months, I found myself standing outside the grocery store in Beverly Hills, Michigan, not able to go in.
At the time, I didn't even really think that there was any help available. And also, I was really ashamed of even asking for help.
I think one of the reasons it took me so long to get any help was because of my inability or my desire not to admit the fact that there was an issue there.
We made sure that our son had eaten enough, and then whatever was left over, was sort of for us, because we just didn't really wanted him to think that there was something wrong.
I understand what it is to feed your children, and I fed my children. And as a mother, that's what my goal was, so that my children never had to be hungry.
When you're in that situation, you're dealing with these existential needs, and everything around you just sort of fades away. Your goals for your future, any hobbies, friends, because you can only focus on meeting these existential needs of your family, and it's pretty rough. It really is.
Not everybody who's hungry is somebody who's homeless or somebody who's a drug addict or an alcoholic, because I don't do drugs, I don't drink, I have my own home, and I live in a nice neighborhood. But people just didn't realize, that it could happen, and I think it's opened up a lot of eyes.
I was an educated woman. I didn't expect life to go that way. I never thought I'd be standing in line in a food bank. I felt needy. I felt ashamed that I couldn't provide for my family. But yet at the same time, I felt gratitude that there was this resource in our communities. The last time that I went to the food bank, I didn't come home with any food because I was standing in line and I was looking at the women who were volunteering that Saturday. And their faces just looked so familiar to me, and I couldn't place them. And finally I realized that I had seen them at the high school conferences where my boys went to school. And I turned around and I walked out. And I sobbed all the way home, angry tears with myself, because my pride had prevented me from feeding my children. And I thought, you are totally a loser. And then my life started to turn around. But that was a very tough time.
Gleaners is phenomenal. Gleaners, in many ways will offer different programs, provide extra food, provide some free food, it's through Gleaners that these shelves are kept full.
Without Gleaners, I don't know how we would sustain the food pantry.
Gleaners and food pantries are giving people food, and they're getting them through these situations. I think the need for Gleaners right now is probably the greatest it's ever been. If we feel the pinch here at the pantry and we need the help, I know Gleaners needs it that much more, because we are only one of countless of pantries that they help.
Anybody's life can change in a heartbeat. And you can have a health diagnosis, you can have a divorce, you can have a death, you can have job loss. And really, in 30, 60, 90 days, you can find yourself in a place of real basic need.